Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder and CEO of Business Marketing Engine, and today we're going to talk about how you can instantly increase your website's SEO without writing any new articles. And SEO, search engine optimization, is something that's relatively new, maybe the last 15, 20 years, but it's when people search for things, it's the same as years ago when somebody would open up the yellow pages and say, I'm looking for the solution or I need help. And so it's really important that your website's ranking increases there. And I'm going to talk to you about a very simple step you can take that almost instantly makes this improvement. So stay tuned and I'll break it down for you. Like I talked about in the intro, search engine optimization is a very important factor in your overall marketing because that's how people find out about us. That's how, when they're searching for a solution in a search engine like Google or on one of the other major ones, that's how they land on your site to learn information. And when we're putting high value content on our site, that allows people to be educated about what we offer. It helps solve their problems. It helps them educate about who we are as a company. And how we can serve them. And so one of the things that I see people do with good intentions, but they sometimes are working on things that aren't producing results, is if they just focus on putting out new content all the time, but they're not looking at their overall search engine optimization strategy, then they can unintentionally miss this principle that applies in life, but especially as it relates to SEO and really optimizing your site so you get more organic traffic. If you're just constantly producing content and putting it out there, but you're not seeing your traffic increase, one of the things you can do without writing more content for your site is do a simple evaluation and pull up in your analytics for your website, which if you don't know how to access that or don't even know if that's set up, reach out. We can take a look at that together. But when you look at your top pages, you'll be able to see, here's the pages that people visit the most. It might be your homepage. It might be your services page. It might be a handful of articles that you published in the recent past or over the years. And as you look at all those top articles, you'll be able to see how many people are visiting them every month. You also should be able to clearly see in your analytics all the site pages, all the parts of your site that nobody ever visits. And the problem with leaving those pieces of ineffective content on your site is they actually drag your site down from a performance standpoint as it relates to search engine optimization. And so you don't want those negative kind of anchors or that content that Google says, man, there's a page up here, but nobody visits it. And here's all these other pages that nobody's visiting on this site. And so with Google's analysis tools, their bots, their AI, and how they evaluate things, if they see a site that has half the content or a portion of the content that people really like reading, and they see this other portion of content that nobody's engaging with or looking at, it brings down the grade and the performance of your whole site because those articles that nobody cares about or nobody's ever seen actually impact your overall score. So the first thing you can do that can instantly increase traffic, it will make marginal increases once you do this, is to actually go in and unpublish or delete all that content that isn't performing. The only exception of why you might leave one of those pieces up there is if it's something that you manually share with a client, like a guide or a resource. Or maybe there's a page that employees access to fill out a form or trigger an automation that helps your business. But excluding those, if you have articles out there that nobody's looking at, they're actually dragging down your search engine optimization profile. And by unpublishing them, it's probably the best way. That way you don't delete them. You may rework them or use them in the future. But by unpublishing them, you're going to increase your SEO profile. The second thing that you can do after that is go out and acquire links from other websites that have what is called a high domain rank authority. High domain rank authority means that Google looks at that site and says, this is a very credible site that talks about this topic. And so we are going to show this website in rankings before we show other sites. It's a factor, one of many from an SEO perspective. There's other things that are looked at. But when you go out and you acquire links that are pointing back to your site, it's very similar to if you would imagine, I'll use an analogy that I use with our clients when we're talking about SEO. If you would imagine that you and I both show up to a networking event and we're both going to speak on stage about your specialty, what you offer in business. I show up like 5 minutes before I'm supposed to go on stage, and I, say hey to a couple people, but there's 100 people in the room, so I only talked to 2 or 3 people. And then you showed up an hour early, and you went around and shook everybody's hand. You gave them your card. You said, here's, what I work on. Here's how we serve and help our clients and customers. And then we both get the opportunity to talk for 10 minutes on stage. And then the MC of the event says, okay, who do you think you want to work with? There's like a show of hands and a vote. Not the normal type of event you'd speak at, right? But who do you think gave the best information, or who would you choose to work with? Odds are, because you spent the time to build the relationship and connect with all those individual people, they'll vote, they'll point to you and say, I want to talk to that person, or I trust them, or I want to work with them. That's essentially the same process that happens when we go out and get other high value websites to point back to link to our website. It's a factor that Google looks at, because they say, if all these other websites are pointing to your website as the authority, as the resource in this area, then that site will be more credible than another site. And so when we look at those two factors, promoting our best performing content and removing the content that nobody's looking at and nobody cares about, and then also getting links coming back to our website that essentially point to us and give us credibility in the search engine's eyes, that's how we increase traffic over time. That's a basic explanation of how some of the components of search engine optimization work. And if you need help increasing your traffic, if you want to get more organic traffic, if you want to really grow your business by generating more leads from all the search traffic you're already getting and increasing that even more, please reach out to us. I'd be glad to take a look at your site, give you an evaluation of where your search engine optimization is as of today, and also the steps that you could take to move forward. You can reach us at businessmarketingengine.com, or comment down below, or shoot me a message. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. My team and I have been doing SEO for well over a decade. And so there's some complexity to it. There's some nuances to it. So it's not something that business owners typically have all the answers with, and that's totally normal, but it's an area that we can definitely help you with. So reach out if you need anything, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode.